Please welcome MaryAnn. Everybody speaks.
Thank you. I didn't give the title, but anyway.
Everybody speaks.
But okay. No, that's okay. All right. Okay. Have any of you ever attempted to teach an elderly relative or an 80-year-old mom how to use a cell phone?
Oh gosh.
Then you know what I mean. Do yourself a favor. Don't make the same mistake I did. Hire a 10-year-old kid to do it. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. All kidding aside here, I am not picking on senior citizens. The family story, this has become a family story of teaching my mother how to use a cell phone. It's been the bane of my existence for the last 3 or 4 months. So I warned her that I was going to tell this story at Toastmasters, and she told me to tell all of you that she warned me that this would not be fun. And it hasn't been. But anyway, to start off with, I'll give you a little bit of background. My sisters and I have been encouraging my mom to get a phone for the past 15 years since my father passed away. And she travels alone, goes all over the place, and takes her lady friends and goes places. And I would say to her, Mom, you need to get a phone. What if you break down? I don't want one of those things. No, they're too expensive. I don't want them. So we tried and tried over the years, and finally I said to her one day, what if you're driving on 94 and your car breaks down? She said, I'll sit by the side of the road and cry. At that point I thought, well, what can I say? So I have 2 sisters, and we tried for years to encourage her and giving her different samples of different phones, and it never worked. Last year I had to have outpatient surgery at Beaumont. My mother took me. So right before I went in for surgery, I said, here, Mom, I have my phone up here too. It's time for cell phone lessons. Then I opened it up and I said, you push this button, you'll get my one sister Carol, you can get Diane. I don't get it, I don't get it. I said, okay, we'll do that again. So we had lessons again. And I was very patient, very slow. Then I did the same thing again. She said, I don't get it. So I looked at her and I said, Mom, if I die in surgery, you might want to call somebody. She did not like that, and she let me know. So I let it go for a while. Well, finally, this year, she changed her home phone service to Comcast. That's when all the problems started. It went down at least once a week. So finally she said to me, okay, it's time. I want to get a cell phone. Whereas I looked at her like she was from outer space, and I said, okay, I've been thinking about it. We'll get you one of those jitterbugs, because they have the large numbers, they have a dial tone, there's no texting, no pictures. And she looked at me and she said, oh no, I want one just like yours. I want to go to the same store you went to. And I said, oh, that's when all my problems started. But I knew that I would have, being the good debtor I would take her, and we would go. So I could talk about my mom and the cell phone for hours, but I'm going to limit it to 3 problems that you will all have if you ever attempt to do this. Number 1, they will not understand that there is no dial tone. They will not understand, or if they do understand, they won't care about the difference between daytime and nighttime minutes. And they will never understand that it sometimes goes dead. You might lose a signal. You have to go to another place in your apartment or whatever. So the first day, we went to the AT&T store. This is the one with the dial tone. So we spent 2 hours there. And she was pretty overwhelmed, which is understandable. She's 80. She does real well, but she was overwhelmed. She said, okay, I can't do this anymore. We'll have lessons over the weekend. I said, fine. Now 2 hours later, I get a frantic phone call from her neighbor. I see her neighbor's phone number. Oh my God, my phone doesn't work. You have to come now. My phone doesn't work. Luckily, I live in the same condo complex. So I went over, and sure enough, she didn't hear a dial tone. You didn't tell me there was no dial tone. I said, yes, I did. So that was okay. That went. And then we practiced some more, and then minutes. She doesn't understand or doesn't care about the difference between nighttime and daytime minutes. If she wants to make a call, she's got to make the call now. She can't wait till after 9. She can't call on the weekend. She has to call this person right now. So No, I lost it. She has to make the call right now. And besides, she goes to bed at 8 o'clock. So nighttime minutes don't mean anything to her. So I made the mistake of putting her on my family plan, thinking that we would save a few bucks. I had 450 minutes. I raised it up to 700. Well, within 2 weeks, my mother used 500 minutes. So I come and I said, Mom, I became the parent. Who are you calling? You could have driven over there by now. Who are you calling? Well, I have to call so-and-so, and I have to call so-and-so, and I have to call so-and-so. So I raised it up to 1,400 minutes. And I said, you go over that, you're on your own. So that's worked so far. Now, the third problem that we have, besides the minutes, the third problem is the dead air. Then, one day, this was when, back in June, if you all remember, everybody had power failures. I had a power failure at my house. I was trying to get ready for work. I get this frantic call. Oh my God, you have to come now, my phone doesn't work. I'm getting ready for work. I go there, I'm really angry. I yelled at her, then I felt really ashamed and embarrassed. My sister had to come over and continue the lessons, and I felt so bad, I went and bought flowers at the market and planted them behind her condo, and sure enough, in 2 days the squirrels ate them. So anyway, to sum things up, it's been a trying experience, but I just want you all to remember that if you ever do attempt anything like that, remember, seniors will not understand that there is no dial tone. They will not understand the difference between day and night minutes, and they will not understand that sometimes you get dead air. But I do have to say, about 6 weeks after she got her phone, we were out somewhere, and she looked and she had a couple messages, and she was so excited because one of my sisters called her, and she looked at me and she said, I love my cell phone. And I nearly fell on the floor. But I have to say, at least it's been good. Now she can contact anybody whenever she wants. I don't have to worry about her anymore not being able to contact somebody. And she can contact me anytime. Well, wait a minute, maybe that's not so good. Mr. Toastmaster?